Hello there, and welcome to ESC. No, not Extreme Scrutiny Club, but an epidemic spinnerproof challenge. Yep, for those who've been caught up on their Roasting Robots podcast, they'll know that I've kind of been called out. I need to build a boat. So let me talk you through what I have planned. So the spirit of this challenge is hot glue and pure jank, holding everything together with a wish and a prayer. And so, it being a bit of fun, I've just tried to use what I have. I've got a couple of small Tupperwares that I got from IKEA, I think. Not sponsored. They have never been used because they're just small and don't really find much use for something this small. So, we're going to go with a catamaran style hull. Over here I've got some 3mm polycarb left over from the build of Crossbow 2. So the plan here, I think, would be to string one of these in the middle, hot glue this all together, and then maybe sort of cut a little slit here, heat bend that to an angle, and fit these bad boys on the end. These are N20 motors with a Lego propeller hot glued to the end. I went for the long shaft to keep the motor out of the water, hopefully. They're actually designed to run on 12 volts, so I can run this with standard Beetleweight parts. Here are some lovely Vex 29s from Crossbow. And that's kind of the plan. We'll put the battery in one side, we'll put the receiver in the other side, and we'll try and seal it up with hot glue and stop any water from getting in. Alright, I'm going to go build. So in all honesty, quite a bit of time has passed since I initially started work on this project. Beetles, summer, other projects have kind of got in the way. But I've got some nice weather today, so I figured I'd go out and test it. And here's what I've come up with. So, after I saw Ryan and Ben's initial videos, I was absolutely determined that I was going to do something different. They'd both done paddle-like designs, and I thought, well, let's do something with props. And I've got to say, I'm pretty happy with how everything's come out. So, and I've done a little bit of testing on it. And I'll splice those video footage in here, just to get an idea of how the robot was going to function. But we've got our power coming through the switch here, just a little ant switch. It's probably not the best, but given that this system is not really going to be under any particular load, it's not going to be in a battle situation, I figured this is more than enough. And then it's going into your electronics on this side. I've tried to tape in a Beetle motor gearbox just to counteract the weight of the battery and keep it floating straight. As you'll see in some of the test footage, it was kind of listing to one side without that. The internals are pretty much standard Beetle internals. So that's going into a couple of Vex 29s, the original two that I bought when I first started doing Beetles. And going through the FreeSky receiver. That might be a mistake, but it's the main receiver I have at the moment. I'm kind of worried that it'll get lost at sea. Beck, of course. If you understand how Beetles work, then this will all be familiar territory for you. If not, go to consult the diagrams on the Bristol Bot Builders website in their guide section, and it'll all make sense. But that pretty much covers it. The weather's nice, which is rare for Scotland. I'm going to go out and test this. Alrighty, and here we are. Let's do a quick test. Everything seems to be in working order. Alright, it's time to get this thing into the water then. I name this boat Crossboat. God bless all who sail in her. while she's in, time to set up the static camera. So we got full forward, we've got full backwards, in circles, kinda. We got a left, and we got a right. Yes! Oh, it's perfect. There's definitely more room for improvement if you knew what you were doing with boats. You were going to spend some time looking into the science of it all. Get some faster motors, some bigger propellers, perhaps change the angle of the prop. But for what it is, for a jank build done in a few afternoons, Crossboat, I am so proud of you. Well, that went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. It sat a bit low in the water, and it was maybe a little bit slow, and I was kind of worried half the time that it was going to leak. I was going to lose all the electronics that I got on it. But other than that, it worked as intended. It could manoeuvre pretty well, and it didn't leak. Would I recommend doing this kind of challenge? Absolutely I would. It was tremendous fun. Sitting within the limits of hot glue and just using what you have, it's a really great time. I can't recommend doing this enough. And I guess that's where I have to end it. Thanks Ryan from Spinnerproof for setting up this challenge in the first place. And look forward to more ESC videos soon.